We're going to finish here with our usual game picks, previewing the 4 playoff games for this weekend. First up, we got the Jaguars, the AFC South champs, coming back from that 27-0 blow deficit last week. They're going on the road to take on Patty Mahomes and Andy Reid in Kansas City. Both teams are on a 5-game win streak. These two teams met in Week 10 in Kansas City. Chiefs won 27-17. Max, do you think Trevor Lawrence has it in him to pull off another comeback? Well, if he's probably going to be losing, so another comeback win.
No, no. There's no. I have no faith in him this week against Patty Mahomes and Andy Reid. That's all I got to say. I think Patty Mahomes is going to have an incredible game.
Yeah, in Week 10 when they played, he had 331 yards and 4 scores. So they didn't have an answer for him there. Sam, you got anything on this game for us?
Yeah, I think the Cinderella story ends. It's a fun story, but yeah, I just think it stops here. I mean, It's Pat Mahomes, it's Andy Reid, it's the Chiefs. We were just talking about the head coach. I don't see it.
Yeah.
One guy we didn't bring up in the coaches poll is Doug Peterson. He's got a Super Bowl under his belt.
Underrated, and I'm still pissed.
Chicago
that the freaking Bears interviewed him and then let him go.
Didn't want him. They didn't want a Super Bowl winning coach.
I don't get that decision.
Jags are reaping the benefits. Go Jags, fun team to get behind. Nice young team, got a good core for next year, but they're going down this weekend. Mahomes. Patty's going to be ready for him.
Yep.
Moving on to our second game of the weekend. Crack a fresh one for this.
Is it Saturday?
I think it is Saturday, actually.
Just making sure.
Yep, I believe it is. I have to double check later, though.
Hell of a Tuesday.
Is it Tuesday?
Tuesday?
Now we're not sure.
Now I'm confused. Let's just meet in the middle. It's Thursday?
We'll meet in the middle. Thursday, college night.
All right, good.
We got a divisional matchup here coming up on Saturday night. It's the Giants at 9-7-1, going on taking on the 1 seed Eagles. They're 14-3. Obviously, these two teams have played twice this year. Eagles won both of them. Week 14 and then week 18. They just played where the Giants sat all their starters. Eagles at home, rested, 1 seed. You got to go with them. I know, like we've talked about before, it's tough to beat a team 3 times in 1 season. That's tough. Right. The 49ers just proved that wrong by whipping the Seahawks. They blowed them this year. Yeah. But I think you'd be crazy to take the Giants. I'm going Eagles here.
Easily. Yeah. Hold on 1 second, though. Is Jalen Hurts playing?
He's going. Yeah, I don't think he's on the injury report. I don't even think he's on the injury report.
I think I would still pick the Eagles with Gardner Minshew because he looked perfectly fine when Hurts went out. So go. Fly, Eagles, fly.
What you got on this?
So crazy it just might work. If there's an upset next weekend, this is the game. I'm not saying I'm like ride or die on the Giants. I just think they looked impressive against the Vikings. They won that game not because the Vikings were bad. The Vikings played well. They played well on offense.
Predicted right here on this podcast by both of us, Giants with the upset.
Wow.
Don't forget.
I understand we're talking Eagles versus Vikings, but I don't know. I just think they're rolling right now. I think that gives them a lot of confidence. They've bought in with Dayball, and Danny Dimes is playing well. Saquon's running the ball.
Looking good. Are you picking them?
I'm just saying if there's an upset this weekend, this is the game. The other ones, I don't see it, but this one I could see it.
Are you saying that you might go on FanDuel and sprinkle a little bit on the money line for the Giants?
Perhaps
sprinkling a little bit on the money line.
Okay.
I don't see it, but yeah, like we said, 3 times is tough to do in 1 season.
Yeah.
So this could be it. Good call on that, Sam. Moving on to our Sunday games. We got 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. Sunday, 1 o'clock Mountain West time on CBS. We got a rematch from the Week 17 canceled game between the Bengals and the Bills.
Yeah.
This one's in Buffalo. What do you think? What are you thinking here, Max?
Oh, this is going to be the best game of the weekend.
This is a juicy one.
It's the one you got to watch. If there's 3 games that you're, if you got to try to make a deal with the wife, I would think that this is the one that you're like, I got to watch this one, babe. Like, this one's for me. This is for Papa. Or vice versa. The same with the ladies too. If you got one of those guys that doesn't want to watch the game, you let them know. You let them know.
Yeah, vice versa, of course.
This is for Mama.
This is for Mama. Don't tell Mama though.
Don't tell her.
Don't tell her.
Hey, if she's behind you right now listening, close the door. You don't want her hearing this. You don't want Mama listening. What are you thinking in this Bengals Bills matchup?
I'm thinking the Bengals. Bills didn't look like themselves against the Dolphins.
Yeah.
They didn't.
Josh Allen's been inconsistent with turnovers.
2 picks and a fumble last week.
Yeah. I just think, the Bengals struggled against the Ravens a little bit, but I think that huge, 98-yard scramble, that's a big shot of life into the team. And
sure,
I think the belief is there. And I don't know. They're my dark horse Super Bowl pick, the Bengals. I think they look good.
Yeah.
This game's a total toss up here. I don't think Cincinnati looked particularly good last week, squeaking by Baltimore without Lamar Jackson. Like you said, needing that 98-yard fumble return.
Yeah, that was huge. Wow.
In toss ups, I usually go with the home team. I got to go Buffalo. They've been knocking on the door. They've been knocking on the door. No one's opening. No one's letting them in. This might be the year. This might be the year for the Bills.
I'm choosing the Bills on this game as well. The rematch from last year, I think the Bills take this one though. I think Josh Allen is ready to take that next step. He wants to show that he's a Super Bowl kind of quarterback.
Yeah.
So I think it's the Chiefs versus the Bills, and we'll discuss that next week once we find that out.
That either way, it's going to be juicy.
Extra juicy.
Last matchup we want to talk about, the Sunday night game. This one's going to be on Fox. We got the Cowboys at 12-5. How about them boys going to San Francisco, who's 13-4. These two teams met in the playoffs last year. Cowboys were the 3 seed, and San Francisco came in, beat them 23-17 last year in Dallas in the wild card round. Do you think now it's in San Francisco now? Can the Cowboys go into Santa Clara and do anything?
I'm gonna go no, but I think they're gonna be prepared for the game. They've heard about the needles and the shit that's sitting all over the floor of San Francisco, and they decided that they're gonna wear their cleats to get into the stadium. Right off the bus. So I think they're gonna be perfectly fine. Perfectly fine as they walk in there. It's gonna be a tightly contested game, but that San Francisco defense against Dak Prescott, I think they're going to tear it into them. But, I mean, Dallas has great defense, too. It's going to be a great game, but I think Dak Prescott is going to make mistakes.
Dak Prescott, I believe, 4 passing scores and a rushing tutty last week. Do you think he can get it done against this defense?
I don't.
No. Mm-mm. Nope. I got to agree with you fellas here. San Francisco is on a tear. I think they're great on both sides of the ball, and we didn't mention Kyle Shanahan's name, but he was 7th for me on the coaches list.
He's up there.
This guy's got a 5-2 playoff record. I think that's pretty good.
I think he has a losing record though in the season.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to talk about offensive geniuses. This guy could be one of them.
Yeah.
He's doing it with Brock Purdy. He's doing it with C.J. Beathard, Nick Mullins, Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, this guy's going to the Super Bowl with these guys. Like,
true. Yeah. They always talk about how the quarterback is the most important position in football, and he's going to the Super Bowl with a third stringer.
Yeah, yeah, and not only a third stringer, but Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick in the draft. The last pick in the draft,
About
Brock
that.
Purdy
About
is
that.
doing this. And it looks like George Kittle is his favorite target, and I got to reap the benefits in the Queef playoffs this year.
And I didn't.
And I didn't. So that'll wrap up our game picks there. This is the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. Next week we got a big show coming up. Max,
Yes.
you want to tell the people?
Yes, the annual Don't Tell Mama Fantasy Football Awards show is going to be next week, and we have a lot of awards to hand out. So
It's gonna be big.
please pull up with a glass of champagne, some chocolate strawberries if you got them, and we have a lot of awards to hand out. And I must say, the most important award that we have is the douchebag, the biggest douchebag in the NFL. And we've been getting your votes in, and we appreciate all the support and hearing about who you honestly believe is the biggest douchebag in the NFL. And I'm telling you right now, it's a tight race. If you're thinking small numbers,
who are those 5 guys again?
To mention that again, so top 5, we have Odell, I can't put my seatbelt on, Beckham Jr. Right. We got Aaron Ayahuasca Rodgers. We have Elvin Stomp the Yard Kamara.
Stomp the Yard.
We got Russell 2 Poops a Week Wilson. And to top it all off, we have Antonio Public Masturbator Brown.
5 healthy.
Please keep bringing your votes in.
Get them in now. You got one more week to vote. We're revealing all this next week, and that's gonna conclude our football talk. And after that, we're gonna move into college basketball.
Yeah.
It's my favorite sport. March is my favorite month. My birthday is in March, but specifically March Madness. And our favorite teams are looking great. They're at the top of the polls right now.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to start talking about college basketball. We keep bringing this up. What an incredible season it's been so far, especially for us being Purdue basketball and Kansas basketball over there. Little Kansas.
Purdue and Kansas are number 2 and 3 right now in the rankings. Sam, if you had to pick a team that you follow, besides Ball State, we got a chirp alum right here. But I don't know what they're doing. I think they might be in the MAC. I'm not sure.
Maction.
The Maction.
Okay. All right. One of those Cinderella teams.
One of those Cinderella teams for sure. Everybody needs to get behind those Cinderella teams come March. It's fun.
Oh, best time of the year is March Madness, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. Okay, it's mid-January.
We are getting ahead of ourselves.
Let's not get sweaty over this.
Got a lot of work to do before then. We got a lot of conference games, got conference tournaments. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. Jalen Wilson, can you talk about Jalen Wilson for a second here, Cole Breezy? After a huge game against Kansas State last night, we're talking player of the year. This guy is definitely a candidate.
A huge game from Jalen Wilson last night, a career high 38 points on the road in the Sunflower Showdown at K-State. It was an overtime loss by 1. This guy is definitely second for me in player of the year behind yours truly, Zach Edey.
Zach Edey, boys.
Jalen Wilson, he tested the draft waters after winning the championship, just like most of the guys did. And he came back and he said, I'm going to put the work in. I want to be this year's guy. He's averaging over 20 field goal attempts a game. Only 2 guys in the Bill Self era at Kansas have done that, Frank Mason and Wayne Simeon. So not many guys have taken 20 shots a game. He's averaging close to 20. He can put the ball in the bucket. He's a 3-level scorer, inside, mid-range, outside. He's a lot of fun to watch. He made huge improvement from last year to this year. He was a starter on the championship team last year, but he was just kind of one of those guys out there. Now he is the dude, and he is fun to watch.
Oh, no doubt about it. That was an incredible game against Kansas State last night. If you missed that, that is just – how many times do I have to explain how college basketball is basketball? Like that, it is just – it's the most fun. It's my favorite sport. It's college basketball. And how my blood pressure gets up for Purdue basketball. I'm 30 years old. Am I having a heart attack? I got to figure this out, boys. I got to figure that. My blood is rushing through me. That game against Michigan State for Purdue. Oh my, what a game! Give it to the player of the year, Zach Edey, to finish. I knew it was going to him. And 2 passes. They passed it twice. Braden Smith to Fletcher Lawyer to Edey, layup. Are you kidding me? 2 passes to get up the floor. Easy. Purdue is an amazing basketball team. I cannot wait actually for conference tournament first because they're going to take that home. Purdue's the best in the Big Ten.
That'll be fun to watch. Speaking of that heart, you said high blood pressure and the heart's racing. As a nurse here, in your medical opinion, what?
Please
say about that. Just watching the Boilers, we're getting all worked up like that. What's your medical opinion?
I mean, it happened. I mean, fan is short for fanatic, and I feel like that's if fanatic is the diagnosis, one of the signs and symptoms is, your blood pressure, your heart rate shooting up when you're watching your team. I don't know about the blood pressure, but if you want to get your heart rate down during the game, you're getting really worked up, you just pull a Russell Wilson or a lack of a Russell Wilson, bear down like you want to poop.
Bear down.
Stimulate the vagal nerve, bring your heart rate down a little bit. That's my advice.
Okay.
Thank you, Sam. That's very wise, and I'll be reviewing that.
That's the kind of insight you can get here at the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast.
We're all full of insight. We got nurses on here now. You kidding me?
You never know. I just want to thank you, Sam, as our first official guest of the Don't Tell.
Thank you, Sam.
Podcast. That was a great time. We got to have you back on again, and I hope for more people to come on. We got one more week to vote for our award show before next Wednesday. Yep. Get your votes in. Get your votes in. We're on.
Yeah, get your votes in.
We're all over. So subscribe and watch those videos. We got 2-minute clips on there, 1.5-minute clips. Let's get those views up.
Yeah, come on now. Come on, show a little support, would you? Show a little support. But we definitely appreciate here at Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast for those of you that are subscribing and even collaborating in a way, just talking with us and posting some goofy comments and everything. We love it. Please send us. Please send it. We don't care. Send it.
Whatever you want to say, put it in there. Say it. Whatever you want to say, put it in there. But we appreciate.
But we won't tell our mamas. We won't tell them about that.
Number one. That's number.
Don't tell your mama either, because I'll tell you right now, she's probably going to be She probably was like, I didn't raise you that way.
Yeah, I could see her saying that.
I have a FaceTime scheduled with my mom tonight. I'm not going to tell her.
Okay. Don't let her know.
But I just want to say, if you want to come somewhere and get some good sports insight, this is the place to do it. Hey. I knew that I was going to get my name dragged through the mud for my fantasy performance, but I still came on. That's how good
He's a trooper.
of a podcast this
He's
is.
A trooper.
So thanks, guys, for having me.
You're the man, Sam. You're the man.
Appreciate that. We appreciate everybody's time, however long that you might have watched this or listened to it, whatever. We appreciate that amount of time, and we hope everybody has a great week, and we'll talk to you next Wednesday.
Yeah. See you next week, everybody. Thank you.